Welcome back to my video, you guys. Thanks for joining in again. I thought I would take you along on 2 different days on homesteading life, learning to live off grid, learning to be a homesteader on top of my homemaking and mothering and all that other good stuff. This day today is going to be a pretty basic day and more of a homemaking day. I'm starting the day off with homemade pancakes. I don't do this every day. I don't make a homemade breakfast every day. Not everything is made from scratch. I do still use, say, instant oatmeal. As you'll see, I use tomorrow. The next day on this video, I'll be using instant oatmeal rather than anything else. But on this day in particularly, we get to have homemade pancakes, and that's pretty good for us. Anyhow, I am really enjoying these new kitchen gadgets I got from Walmart. This little thing I'm using right now, the scoop. You guys know I don't know my kitchen utensils names. I wing things a lot around here because I am not no perfect know-it-all, know everything, and I just use things that work for me. Anyways, this little spoon thing I'm using is a ladle I got from Temu. I do like it a lot. Using my cast iron pan. I got a lot of people asking me where I got this set from, and I got them from Sam's Club. They came, I think, in a set of 4, and it was only like $99. But I did get it from Sam's Club. Here we go. Now it is time to do laundry. You will see that I am still using my buckets of water. Yes, we have watering tanks. I could move a watering tank over here and have Chris fill it. Well, I could have Chris move it over here and fill it up over here for me. I could use the hose, but I prefer not to. This is just the way I prefer to do it, and let me tell you why. I am now in my 40s. I need to stay in shape. I need to have the energy. I need to have the muscles. I need to have the drive to get up every day. And I see this as a workout. So I see I'm doing a cardio, say, or arm day, or I'm not even sure what these terms are called when you go to the gym. Basically, I'm doing a workout as well as doing laundry. So I'm getting 2 things done at the same time. And that's just how I prefer to do it. I got this washing machine from Amazon. I absolutely love it. I've talked about it in other videos. I know not everybody watches the videos, every video, but it's a machine that I got from Amazon. I can try and remember to link it down below, but I love it so much I will be getting a second one here soon because it does take quite a bit of time to do this laundry for this size family. Now it is time to detail the van. I already did that, so now I am cleaning up the car seats. It's always nice to get inside your vehicle to go do your errands when you're not getting into a van filled with kid bunk. I have 9 kids. We eat in the van. It normally takes us about 2 hours to get to town. And let me tell you, I don't like the smell of kid farts. So I did detail my van, washing the car seats, and now the question is well, how do you dry your laundry? I hang dry my laundry. Even when I had my brand new dryer in the house, I still prefer to hang my laundry for 2 reasons. It's kind of like, it's just relaxing for me, and it's good for the environment. So there's another 2 very good reasons to hang dry your laundry. And I know people are going to say, hey, you need a clothesline. Trust me, I know, and it's definitely something I want. But we've only been here since November 2022. And we haven't even been here a year yet. So that is something I really want. But for now, this little drying rack that I've used for years is doing the job. And when I run out of room, which I always do, I use the cattle panels around my garden. So you'll see I have the boys over here working on the structure for the kitchen and schoolroom. We are not building a house. I'm going to share with you guys as we go, as I want to make it easier to explain to you guys on how we are choosing to do our off-grid home style, home life. But this is what the boys are working on. You can see Chris's hand was bandaged up, and he is on his 3rd surgery, I think, since being here. So being the builder, being the money maker, he's a tattoo artist, and everything else, it's been a bit of a slower build for us, and that's okay because we have shelter, we have the brand new RV, we have food in our bellies, we have roof over our head, we have heating, we have air. You can see I'm over here at the well, we have water, and We will be getting a solar hook up. I am so grateful for a few things happening right now, but we will have a solar hook up for our well. Right now we're running it off the generator. You see how it's hidden back there behind that little wood thing. Anyhow, filling up the buckets. Chris is over here filling up the Berkey with his hand. I'm zooming in on him because he's driving me crazy, you guys. This is only the first day from surgery, and he's just like, his ADHD won't let him sit. So he's doing his best. He's a working man, and he hates to see me out there trying to do everything, which I'm a working woman. I don't mind it. I enjoy it. I can't just sit on my rump. Sometimes I want to, but my mind doesn't let me. Anyhow, peaches. Look at this peach season. I'm so excited. Finally peach season. So I'm doing some canning. This is a recipe. I've never done this recipe from the bulk canning book. It is, I'm going to go over it with you guys. So this is what I used. 2 cups of sugar. It'll be 2 cups of honey. And then you'll see the boys bring me some water bottles. Yes, I can use the Berkey water, the filter water, but when I'm doing canning like this, I prefer to use bottled water. So it is 2 cups of sugar, 2 cups of honey, 8 cups of water, which I am using for bottled water because that basically is 8 cups of water. If you do the math there, 16 ounces a bottle. And you're going to bring it to a simmer probably about to 180 degrees, basically just enough to get everything melted and blended in together. It's very sticky. It's very sticky. So I'm hoping these peaches taste good. I'm doing this batch of peaches for peach pie over winter just to get that taste of summer during the cold, stormy, wintry days, which if you followed us last year, you've seen that we had a lot of snow last year. So I'm hoping to bring in a taste of summer over these cold days and, you know, put a little sunshine into our winter days. Anyhow, that's like the best part of canning, right? Is to open up that jar of your fresh goodness and give you a little reminder of summertime. That's what I'm doing. So here we go. I am going to fill up the jars. I got my peaches peeled. I got them in the jars. I'm shooing the flies away. I'm deciding to put some cinnamon sticks inside of my jars. So 1 cinnamon stick, I'm using quart-sized jars, and I'm going to fill my jars up with the syrup that I made, leaving about 1 inch headspace. And then you, watch this. I didn't want to do extra dishes. Yep, that went all over the floor. So now I need to go wash my ladle, which I'm just like, man, that sucks. So here I am. I'm going to ladle the juice inside here. Now watch this. It's going to go out the side all over the place. And I'm going to have to go rinse out my little funnel thing that I use to put the peaches in. So yeah, it just didn't work out. Anyhow, I was trying to be lazy and it didn't work out how I wanted it to. There's my little thing I need. Now, there you go. Just do things the right way, and like me, I'm being lazy over here. Anyhow, fill these up to 1/2 inch, and then from my altitude, I am going to water bath these cans of peaches for 35 minutes. You can water bath peaches, and that's what I'm going to do. First, I'm going to debubble them, and then I'm going to rinse or wipe the jars off with vinegar. Some people use warm water and a rag. I use paper towel and vinegar because I'm messy and I got jelly, sticky crap all over my jars. So that's what I'm going to do, is use vinegar, wipe those rims, put the lids on, tighten the rings finger tight, and water bathe them for 35 minutes. Most areas 25 minutes, but my altitude, like I said, I think I'm 5,000 something 100 feet elevation. I just know from my altitude it's 35 minutes, so you have to check that. And there was a woman I watched the other day, and she did her peach jam for only 5 minutes, so in her water bath canner. So I'm like, am I overdoing this? I'm just going by the ball recipe book. I'm not a professional, but man, if I could only do all these in 5 minutes, that would have been such a time saver. But that's okay. I got them done. I got my first set of jars of peaches for my peach pies or my peach cobblers done. They're on the shelf, and I'm so grateful for this. For this box of peaches in my area, it was $50 for this box of peaches, and I got 10 jars out of it. You can see I had some, I forget the word, it was right there, but basically I had some of the gels come out and make a sticky mess. I wipe those off. Everything sealed perfectly. Nighttime chai tea, that's my treat. End of the day, I'm done. Good morning, it's another day. Let's get the coffee, hot chocolate routine going. See, here I am using instant oatmeal. There is no homemade homemade muffin pancakes, nothing homemade. This is instant. Thank you, Quaker, for helping me. I got these bowls, they're super cute, from Temu. I do not prefer you order, I mean, the bowls are cute, but the little rubber thing comes off of the spoon, and that's a choking hazard. So after I used these one time, I ended up throwing the spoon away because of the little spoon part coming off of the thing. Anyhow, time to get dressed and on to the chicken coop. Not every day is a homemaking. You're canning peaches and you're making homemade pancakes and you're just being the perfect homemaker. Now I need to take care of my chickens, and I did have my boys do it in the last video, and I wasn't impressed with the way they did it. And I know it's a slow learning process, but I need to get in there and I need to do it right, or it's just going to bother me. So we take turns doing it. This is my turn, my day doing it, and I'm kind of seeing what is going on in here, what needs to be fixed. This thing is broken. They didn't tell me that. So you can see the leg fall off right there. Moving that out of the way, there's Harry and his hairless, featherless butt showing, strutting their stuff. I don't know where my turkey's feathers went, but they're not very presentable for the ladies. Anyhow, I'm just trying to get stuff cleared out and figure out what I need to do. Here in a minute, I am going to realize that there's a lot of poop I need to get cleaned out of here. But first, I wanted to drag this in here. This was our old bunny hutch that we used, and I want to use it as a laying box for now. Like I said, my husband has had some surgery. I am not Tammy the builder. I don't know how to build things. I would like to learn, but I don't know how to just yet. I have too many babies to sit there and learn, so I'm just doing what I can do. I'm going to hope that the chickens can see this is another spot that they can lay. You can see that they do have their little mini coop I moved in here, and they have been laying in that, but I'm just hoping that, you know, maybe they can lay in there too, give them more laying spaces. Look at that, 2 eggs. I had a commenter tell me, oh, your chickens aren't going to lay no eggs with turkeys in there. Yes, your chickens will lay with turkeys. You just got to make sure your animals are happy, fed, and taken care of, and they'll provide for you. These turkeys and chickens, they have grown up together. Maybe that's why. But even when I lived in the house and I had chickens and turkeys, they all laid together. They all got along and they were friends. One thing, I'm checking out my turkey now because she seems like she's having a little trouble walking. I think Lemon accidentally hit her in the door when she was helping me shut the door, but she's okay. I think she got a little bit zinged and couldn't walk okay for a minute. She just seemed a little bit out of it. You can see she's still in there, but there she goes. Now she's walking around. She's doing okay. So back to scraping poop. So the one thing that is kind of a pain in the butt with turkeys is that they poop a lot. Turkeys poop a lot and it stinks. So it's like chickens poop a lot. Yeah, but turkey crap smells a lot. So I'm just cleaning this out. I like to clean out this area, and I know I need a bigger space, and we do have a bigger run. We let the turkeys run free range around here. I haven't had any, knock on wood, issues with any kind of predators, mountain lions, anything that will, coyotes. We've heard them in the background, but we haven't had any on our property. Elka's done and Otto's done a great job keeping them off of the property, but it's our animals that want to eat our livestock. So that's the issue that we have now. We can't have our chickens, thanks, turkeys knocked my camera over, but we can't have them just running free because our animals want to eat them. So we give them some time, but they can't do it all day long. Like the turkeys get out in the morning, that's the turkeys' time, and that's their choice. You can see we don't have the roof put up on here yet, which needs to get done, but in time. One man, he's a little bit bandaged up again from surgery. So we're just doing things in order with prioritizing what is the most important thing that needs to be done. You can see our animals here have shade. They have shelter, they have safety, they have food, they have water, they're okay, they're happy, they're laying, they're being taken care of. So we are just going by what we can do when we can do it. And we have winter peeking up on us fast. We have the new baby coming fast. We have school starting fast. We have everything just starting fast. So Luckily, as of now, we think this is Chris's last surgery. Let's hope so, because he's getting a little bit aggravated with the whole process and having to heal and things like that. So here I go. This is a spot that I don't like, and I need to move that coop. Now that I'm looking at it, I just wanted it underneath the shade in case they do lay and I don't get to the eggs in time. They're not hot boxing in there. The weather is cooling off in here and here in Utah, so we are finally hitting more of the 80s. I think we have a couple 90 days left in the forecast. Thank goodness, because I didn't really enjoy the 90s at all. Normally I'm like a 90s. I love the summertime girl. Now I'm like, it needs to be fall. It's just too dang hot. But it seems like our biggest, hottest streak here lasted about 2 weeks. And it was pretty horrible, but it was only 2 weeks. I'm really, really grateful for that, because in California and other places, it's not a lot longer than 2 weeks and 100-degree days, and thankfully we don't even get that here. But the sun does hit harder here. It's higher altitude, and 90-degree days is just horrible out here for us. Everybody's been safe. There's been no issues with the heat, and again, it was only 14 days, so I think we can manage that every year. I've noticed that a lot of other homesteading women said that they have a few weeks out of the year and they don't have AC at all, and they're just like, okay, we just got to get past this heat wave. And now I know when our heat wave's expected and when it'll cool down. And yeah, it's just a learning process being out here for the first seasons on the homestead, kind of learning and watching the weather patterns and how things grow and the seasons, and we don't know. So having this out here is being out here during the seasons for the first time before we do everything permanently has been a blessing, to be able to learn before just doing type of thing. Anyhow, this is all cleaned up. This chore is done. Laundry's done. Garden stuff, I think, did we already do the garden? I think I did the garden. Nope, I did the laundry. So I'm getting things done, and I will talk to you guys as we go through with the rest of the chores. There goes my camera again. The turkeys are really wrecking my camera. Here we go. Now I'm on to laundry, checking more laundry. Chris already has it started for me. He has filled it up for me, and he doesn't like me lifting the buckets, but you know, he doesn't like me doing really anything that's causing me to do any kind of work while being pregnant. Anyhow, I'm straightening this up. He did a lot of laundry for me the other day. This whole thing was just filled with laundry, and
if they call him golden child or whatever, he's the one that does the work. So he has electronics, and those two over there do not.
Why do you have electronics, Fisher?
For him.
Because me and Dad raised him hard. Yeah. This is the only kid that we raised hard. The only kid we raised hard. Yep. Hard worker.
The twins got out of the pool. I don't know what the heck they're doing.
They found a ball. They started to come over to help me and Fisher with the trash, and they found a ball.
Yeah. But I even said over there, quite loud, oh, bad dog.
What?
She's eating the freaking cap.
My husband told me he found some stuff for me on on the table. No, you're not taking no bath right now. Is he trying to tell me something? We got some floss, some Caress, and some Dove deodorant. Some chemical-filled Dove deodorant. I should leave this crap in the sun to let it melt. No, and I love floss. I was actually whining the other day because I didn't have enough. But seriously, I thought that was funny. And I got more masks. You'll see me wearing a mask cleaning up chicken crap. That's about it. Okay, here we go. Now I'm in the garden. What I'm doing is seeing what I can have to gather to make meals with for the day. I don't have enough at all. I'm not even close to having enough to jar up and preserve from my own garden. I'm relying a lot on the stores, the farmers markets, the farmers in general, and I think a huge portion of our canning season is going to come from Measure Standards. It's a great little online store that has a bunch of stuff that they sell that is non-GMO, organic, and I want to show you guys this bumblebee. It's really pretty. We have a little bumblebee. Anyhow, they have a lot of stuff, but what I can do is gather the stuff that I have growing and use it as meals as it does grow. I was hoping to gather enough tomatoes to make a pasta sauce for some pumpkin pizzas. Pumpkin pizza is not pumpkin flavor, but shaped as pumpkins, for a video I'm doing for you guys for Halloween inspired meal lunch ideas. And there was not enough tomatoes to make a pasta sauce. But there was a ton of tomatoes, a ton as in enough for my kids to snack on. All my girls really enjoy the cherry tomatoes, which is pretty impressive that they all like cherry tomatoes. So that's what I'm doing now, is just gathering what is up and ready to harvest. And you can see I have stuff growing. It's not really bad for our first year being here and kind of learning the patterns, learning the weather, learning how and what we need to grow, what grows best out here with the heat. I'm showing Chris this huge zucchini that's been growing in this little planter box right here. Now I'm going to take out the sunflowers that petals have fallen off, and I'm going to harvest the seeds, save a bunch of the seeds to grow a bunch of sunflowers next year into the ground. We didn't have the soil ready for ground growing yet, but we did talk to a couple local people at the local IFA store, and they kind of told us how we need and what we need and what we can grow in the ground here. So we do have a little area spaced out, which I'm going to be starting the fall garden, and I'm about 2 weeks late on that. I should have had that done at the end of July, and I just haven't had time. Anyhow, I'm going to save some of the sunflower seeds and use them to plant sunflowers, a ton of sunflowers next year. And the rest of them I'm going to prick out and give to our chickens and turkeys as a treat. Okay, didn't get much, but I said we didn't get much because I'm so used to grabbing so much more during the harvest season, but I gotta just keep reminding myself this is our first year here. Anyhow, back inside, now I'm cleaning up the peach jars, getting all the syrup off. I checked the seals and I rinsed them all off to put on the shelf. I did have some liquid come out of the jars, which made them sticky. They all sealed, they're all, perfectly sealed. All 10 of my jars sealed, which I'm grateful for that. I wasn't sure how that was going to work, especially using a new syrup. I'm always like, how many jars am I going to have fill? But we have sugar ants that come in here, so I'm making sure I get all the sugar off these jars. I'm making sure they're still perfectly sealed. And then later on tonight, I'm going to write the dates on the jar. Not that these are going to last more than a year. These jars will last, until the next peach season. And this is our first batch of jars. I'm hoping to get at least 20 more jars of peaches on our shelves. We love our peaches. Now to chop up and make some, what am I making today? Pasta, beef pasta. So I'm using my last bit of organic ground beef that I got from Sam's Club. I do not prefer to buy the ground beef from Sam's Club. I think there's like dye or something in it, because no matter how long I cook it, it still looks pink, and beef cooks really quick. If you cook and your beef should cook pretty quickly. This is the only beef I've ever bought where I'm like, why isn't this stuff turning unpink? It still looks like I haven't cooked it. So I won't be buying the organic beef from Sam's Club again, just a little my personal type of whatever. So right now I'm just chopping up some of the fresh herbs that I got from the garden. There's some other thyme in there, some oregano, basil, rosemary. Nope, there's no rosemary in there today. My rosemary is not growing here, and I always have a crap ton of rosemary grow, so I don't know what's going on with that, but no rosemary this year. I will be buying a ton of herbs from As Your Standards. They're seriously going to be my savior this year. This store, they have everything in bulk, and it's all, like I said, organic, some local stuff, but either way it's non-GMO. It's just something I prefer to feed my family. So these 2 bell peppers did the job on the pasta sauce. Growing your own bell peppers, the flavor is incredibly different. They're just so flavorful and delicious. So we are gonna have the 2 bell peppers that grew into all this stuff right here I'm chopping up came from our little tiny garden, our little tiny off-grid newbie garden. And like I said, we are growing stuff, just not enough to preserve. And being that I was so excited for the garden and hoping that we had all this stuff to can up, you know, and having nothing grow, it's kind of a bummer, but it could be worse. I could have had nothing grow. Anyhow, this is going to be really good. If you haven't tried growing bell peppers, just do like 2 plants next year, and you could even put them in a pot on your patio with maybe 2 tomato plants, do 4 pots, 2 tomato plants, 2 bell pepper plants. Even if you live in like an apartment or whatever, in the window, the flavor, so it's just different. It's a different vibe when it comes to bell peppers and salsas and stuff like that. Anyhow, I'm gonna get this chopped up and get my kids fed, and I think this is what we had. We had a big lunch, so we had a light dinner. I can't remember what we had for dinner, but anyhow, I'm gonna get this all done up and get some bellies filled up before the next project I have to do outside. Alrighty, my meat and my vegetables are sauteing together. They're basically done. I'm going to add in 3 cans of this tomato sauce. I got it from Sam's Club. I like this sauce a lot. It's the non-GMO project, which I'm trying hard. I know there's candy corn in the background, but hey, you know, pick your poisons. To feed my family non-GMO. Here I am still on this prebiotic powder. I mean, it's been a complete life changer for me. You guys know how I struggle with bowel issues, and this prebiotic, it's not a probiotic, has done wonders. Those bananas, you guys, are not going to get eaten. They're going to be fed to the chickens with the scrap bowl right there. There we go. That's our leftovers. Our pasta is done. I do want to point out and apologize for saying anyhow so much earlier, because I think that's just a mindset. My kids were really loud this day when I was doing my voiceover, and saying anyhow was kind of just like a little mindset reset for me. So I'm going to be adding the dates, the year on the jar, put them in the cupboard. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I do want to point out, yes, I know my clothes, my new dresses are see-through. I noticed that in this video, and I figured, you know what, if you guys can't handle seeing granny panties and sports bras underneath my dresses, that's just I guess that's a you problem, because there's really nothing I could do about that. I'd like to say I'm a modest hippie. I'm not ashamed of body parts or things leak through, you know, natural parts through your clothing, whatever. I'm fully clothed. Those dresses were just extremely see-through, and I now know I need to get some slips to go underneath there. That sounds kind of like sexy, old lady sexy-ish, right? Is that even a thing? That's weird. That's just weird. Anyhow, I know I need some like undergarments under there. So there we go. There's my jars all jarred up. I'm gonna head to bed now. Well, this night I am. I'm not right now. It's like middle of the day. Here's Daddy and Freya. Again, hope you guys have a great rest of your day.